When you start studying for an exam, one of the first things you find out is how many hours do you need to study in order to be ready to take the exam. Now, every exam is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be impacted by your education and your work experience, but generally we're probably talking about 80 to 100 hours you're going to need to study in order to prepare for each part of the exams that you're taking. Well, it's easy for somebody to stand here and tell you, you need to study 80 hours, you need to study 100 hours. But what would be really helpful for you is some guidance about how to find that study time and how to make that study time as effective and as efficient as possible. And so what I want to do here is give you an idea about how to find that study time so that you can get the most out of the time you're studying and be ready to pass your exam as soon as possible. And the idea that we're talking about here is what is called time blocking. And it's kind of a fancy name for something that we can kind of think of as common sense, but it's important to think about it and to schedule it to make it work for you. So the idea is that when you're studying, that should be the only thing you're doing. You're not also watching TV, you're not also playing with your children, you're not also taking a walk through the park. You are studying. That is the only thing you should be doing when you are studying. And what you need to do is you need to make a schedule. You need to know when during the week you're going to study. Is it Tuesday evening, Thursday morning, Wednesday morning, Saturday afternoon? You need to make that schedule, and then you need to make that schedule a commitment and a priority. This means you put it into your calendar. This means it's part of your schedule that you must do. It's not an optional thing. This is one of your priorities for the days that you're studying. You need to tell your friends and family that this is your study time. You are studying from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock, from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Whatever time that is, you need to prioritize that for yourself and let the people around you know that you're going to be studying at that time. You also don't need to block out 8 hours. 2 3-hour blocks is a good period of time. Maybe some days you only have 30 minutes. That's fine too. You just need to prioritize it and commit to it. You also need to understand and remember that studying's not easy. It may physically be easy, you don't move around much, but mentally it requires energy. It requires that thought and concentration to get the most out of that study time. So when you're making the schedule about when during the week you're going to study, prioritize that time in your energy resources as well, which means you're not studying at the evening at the end of your weekend when you're tired. Make it at the beginning. Make it early in the day when you're still alert and fresh. 2 hours of studying when you're mentally alert and awake is going to be much more productive than 4 hours of studying when you're tired. So prioritize the time you're studying. Make that study time only study time. No interruptions. Make it a commitment. Make it that priority in your schedule. And if you take these blocks of time and you commit to studying during them, you will get ready to pass your exam. You will be prepared to pass the exam when you get to that target number of hours, and maybe even a little bit earlier, because the study time you have is going to be effective and efficient, and that is what is going to help you pass your exam on your first attempt.